What's up everybody, this is Boywithafishtank, and today I'm bringing you a new video of one of my new things right here, one of my new projects. This is basically my bearded dragon terrarium, and I've never had a terrarium before. I've only had the smooth new terrarium, vivarium thing. And you know, they're still alive, and I'm actually soon going to release them into the wild again, into the specific place where they came from, of course, else it's illegal. But you know, so this terrarium is doing really well, and I just thought I would show you guys all of the different equipment and the bearded dragon itself, and you know, different things like that. So you can see here, I got it on a stand right here on a little table that holds it pretty well. It's a 90 by 45 by 45 Exoterra terrarium. You can see right here. You can see right there, there's the Exoterra logo. And I really like these terrariums because first of all, they got these opening glass doors. And what's really good about them is that you can completely lock them. And you know, that is always positive because actually bearded dragons are pretty good at escaping, and I actually experienced once for like a couple of hours ago that she stood up there, like she was sitting at her basking spot, and then suddenly she just jumped out of the glass, like tried to get out, and if it wasn't dug, she would just have opened it and, you know, ran out, which would not be a good idea. You know, I really like those glass panes. It's really nice. It has really good ventilation as well, as you can see right here. These are ventilation holes, so that it will always, it won't get too humid in there, which is always good. You know, it is a desert animal, so, and yeah, so basically you can see here, you can lock the doors from above right here, and basically that just makes sure that she can't jump up right here and like open it like partially, and then of course it also has a lock down here. The reason it got both places is because it's fairly big, you know, it's 45 centimeters tall. It's a really big terrarium actually, so it will be good for her all of her life. And it's a female, by the way. I guess you guys could guess that after I said her, but yeah. And you can see here I got some Arcadia lighting. This is some really nice lighting. I really like this. You know, they also make lighting for aquariums. You know, I've seen a lot of people keep having Arcadia lighting in their saltwater tanks and stuff like that, and it works really well. Really high quality from Germany. You can see here, this fixture is really nice. It actually has reflectors in there, and basically here is some UVA and UVB lighting, because you know there should be UV lighting spread all throughout the tank. That is very important. However, it's not super bright because, you know, we cannot really see UV lighting, but there is some visionable lighting in there, so that's pretty cool. And then of course I got my heat lamp over here, which is the Solar Glow from Exoterra 125 watt. It also has UVA and UVB, of course. Mercury vapor lamp. And it got a dome here, of course. You can see the lamp down there. It's really like it like the heat it produces is just insane. And the thing is that you know, I actually wanted to buy an Exoterra fixture as well, but like the Exoterra fixtures are not really that high quality. They're actually made out of plastic, and the thing about plastic is that, you know, it can melt under really high heat circumstances. So really, this is aluminium, and you know, that can tolerate quite a lot of heat, and you know, it has to go right beside this heat lamp, and I can already feel that it's really hot. So you know, I just want to make sure that it wouldn't bend or anything like that. And you only need to change this fixture, or well, this T5 right in here, only once a year, while with the Exoterra small light bulbs you have to change those every half year, which is quite a lot, and they're really expensive. So you know, this is both a cheaper but also a much better alternative, and it's a lot more safe. So you know, what's really nice is that it matches perfectly on here, so that's really nice. It's 90 centimeters long. It has these foots right here, so that it's you know, it's balancing nice in there. And you know, the terrarium itself is just really nice as well. Like, I'm not even done with with scaping it yet. I'm still doing a little bit of scaping, but I try to do it slowly so that I won't stress the bearded dragon too much. You can see her right here. Her name is Zilla. You can see her right here, like Godzilla, but like Zilla. I guess you guys could realize that. But you can see right here, she's really beautiful. She was actually pretty stressed out because out at the pet store where she was from, you know, she got fed a little too much, and because she got stressed, she actually threw up for like a couple of minutes ago. So, but she's doing fine now. You know, I've had her out for a couple, I think actually for like a half hour in total. You know, she's really nice. You know, she's very friendly and things like that, so that's nice. I started with an adult bearded dragon because if I would have started with a baby bearded dragon, it's a little bit harder to keep, and the terrariums you keep for them are a little bit more ugly, because this is something that I also want to talk about, the substrate, because it's kind of different what your options are for like adult bearded dragons and for baby bearded dragons, because as you can see right here, this is actually sand, or well, close to gravel. Actually, it's like the line between transition of gravel and sand, but I would still call it sand. It has some pretty big small pebbles right here, and basically what happens when you get fine sand for your bearded dragons is impaction, and impaction can also happen with bigger substrates. You know, sometimes if the substrate is too big, it can happen more often. You know, it can happen a lot easier. But what I would say is that if you have too fine sand, it will go bad, and if you have too big sand, it will also go bad. So this is kind of like the middle in between. And for adult bearded dragons, they can actually tolerate quite a bit of this sand right here before they'll get impatient. And you know, the only time I've seen her eat any of it was when I introduced her to the terrarium. You know, she was going around licking stuff. You know, their weird behavior where they're going around like licking stuff, because you know, that's how they find out what things are. You know, they smell and taste them. You can actually realize that whenever you put anything new into the terrarium, or if you met the bearded dragon for the first time, you know, and you're handling it for the first time, it'll also start licking you or licking the new things around the area to find out what is this stuff I want to find out. And you know, that's basically what they do. You can see here, I see a lot of people with bearded dragon terrariums with fake plants. And that's not my way of doing things. Everything has to be real for me. So I got a real agave plant right here. Agave plants are really hardy. Like, they're very easy to grow. You know, they're basically like a cactus without spikes, pretty much. They get they get like pretty large, but like they grow pretty slowly, so it's okay. And if she suddenly starts eating it, which she hasn't done yet, she hasn't really shown any interest. You know, it will grow out again, and even if she eats it, it's not going to be poisonous or anything like that. We actually eat agaves, like we got agave syrup and things like that, you know, so it's not a problem if she eats it. Like, it's not poisonous or anything like that. I got some few rocks over here that I will change out pretty soon, because I actually got some tiles, some granite tiles that looks really nice, where I can like stack them on top of each other. You can see here I got some corkwood here. There's actually a corkwood cave right here she can walk into if that's the thing she wants to do. And then I got I balanced a piece of corkwood on top of the other corkwood piece, and I could actually get the basking spot pretty high up and close to the lamp, so that's pretty nice. You see here I got the agave plant in a piece of corkwood as well, which looks really cool. And my plan for now is actually that I will use this cactus right here, which is a rather special cactus. Now, this cactus actually does not sting. It's basically like small hairs, pretty much. It's only if you hit it from a certain angle that it will irritate you, but it won't sting you, so that's pretty nice. So even if she eats this, it's not poisonous, and you know, it looks really nice. It grows pretty big and wide. It doesn't really grow tall. That's pretty cool, and I'm planning to put it down here, but right now I'm trying to find a way to put it into the substrate, because I can't just put this with the dirt in there. I need some sort of like pot underneath or something like that. Yeah, but I will get that fixed pretty soon. And yeah, you know, Zilla is really friendly. Right now she's doing the weird thing with her mouth that I do not know what is. I just think it's because she's a little stressed. But you can see here, even if I open this, she's really friendly, and you know, I can just pet her and things like that. So that's really nice. You can see here. Hello. Hello. You can see right there. Now she doesn't really want to get petted right now. She was out before, and you know, she's really friendly, but you know, she has to adapt to her new environment, and you know, I accept that. But I've had her out like a couple of times, only briefly of course, not for a long period of time. So let me just put this on again and lock the doors, because sometimes she just freaks out and she like tries to jump out of the tank, which I don't know why she's doing that, but you know. Like I said, she threw up in the food bowl. I gave her some salad and she suddenly started throwing up. That is because of the stress that is put on her, and because she ate so much food out of at the pet store that, you know, it was just overwhelming. But you can see she got some really nice patterns on her back. She's a really pretty bearded dragon. You know, not the brightest colors, but she's still very nice. You can actually realize if I go right here to her side, you might actually see, sorry for that Zilla, but you might actually see here that she got a little bit of yellow on her sides, which looks really nice. She's a really nice looking dragon. So yeah, she looks really nice. And yeah, that's basically my terrarium. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated. And you'll probably see this bearded dragon coming up in some videos pretty soon. And yeah, of course I'm still going to make videos about aquariums, guys, do not worry. Aquariums are still my passion. But you know, all my friends got a reptile, so I got a reptile too. Like, I just have to join. And I really like reptiles, I've just never really came into it. But I've been sitting for months and months now, just researching about bearded dragons, so it's really nice. Look at her, she's really nice. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys in another video.